Welcome to the TechAutos.com unboxing of T-Mobile USA's version of the HTC HD7. The HD7 is HTC's flagship smartphone running Microsoft's new Windows Phone 7 operating system. It's launching tomorrow for $199 on a 2-year contract or $499 no commitment. So the first thing we notice about this box here is that it looks quite similar to the box that the HD2 came in some months ago. And in fact, there's more to this similarity than just the box, as we'll see in a bit. But for now, let's get started here. So there's a piece of tape on both ends. We've cut this in advance. And if you just lift this off here, we have the phone itself. So you just grab the phone from the bottom here, and you'll see there is a cover on the front of the device. Just peel that off. You can see here the 4.3-inch screen, and at the bottom there are 3 capacitive buttons: back, the home or Windows start key, and a search key. At the top you just see the HTC and T-Mobile logos, and of course in between 4.3-inch WVGA 800 by 480 screen. On the side we see the volume rocker and the 2-step camera button. This is kind of like what you'd find on a real dedicated camera. So the first stage when you press down is to focus, and the second stage to actually take a photo. And on the back here we see it's a plastic back, but sort of rubbery feel to it, and the HTC logo in a chrome sort of finish. We have 5 megapixel camera, dual LED flash, and you can see here HD7 written in sort of hard to see font. Windows Phone here. And one of the key features here that's new to the HD7 is this little hidden kickstand. So when you place it down, you can watch movies and hopefully not have it fall, as I just did. So we'll take a look at the phone in more detail in a little bit, but for now let's look at the box again. So in here we just pull out this little section here. Again, this is identical to the HD2 packaging. In here we get a start guide. You can probably flip through it if there's anything interesting. We'll probably just be skipping it for now. There's terms and conditions, warranty guide, same deal. Something about Windows Phone, some general features and such. Take a look. Software license terms, something else about Windows Phone 7, and a handset recycling program for those interested. Okay, so inside the box here we get a USB cable. This is a standard order micro USB to USB cable. Pretty much what you get with any other modern phone. Yeah, again, micro USB on one side and full USB on the other for charging. You get a stereo headset. This looks pretty similar to HTC's standard headsets, so nothing special here. And on this side we get the AC adapter, which is a little bit different from what you'd find in the HD2 and other HTC phones, but has a nice finish to it and quite compact as well. So that's what's in the box. Now if we go back to the phone itself, here we are. And well, what's interesting about this phone is that the edges have a sort of almost bronze appearance, and it overall has a nice quality feel to it. The glass, all glass up front. There is a speaker looking grill on the top and bottom. Below you see the 3.5mm audio jack, as well as a micro USB connection for charging and media syncing, as well as the microphone. In the back we looked at already. There's a power switch at the top, and overall the phone has a solid sort of feel to it. and is relatively thin, and not too hefty either. This phone, for those curious, is almost identical to the HD2 in most dimensions. The screen is the same on both devices. They share not just an outside appearance, but also internals. They both use a 1 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon chip, and both ship with 16 gigabytes of memory. One difference being the HD2 here had it on a micro SD card, which you could swap out yourself, whereas the HD7 does not have changeable memory. So you're fixed at 16 gigabytes, which should be enough for most people. You'll notice the HD2 had more in the way of hardware buttons. Here we had the send, end, home, start, and back keys, but no camera key. Whereas the HD7 has just 3 up front, but has a camera key, and the volume rockers on the other side. And if you look at the back, they both have, again, 5 megapixel cameras. The HD7 has slightly better optics though, so you should get a bit better image quality out of the HD7. Of course, the big difference between these two phones is that the HD2 is running Windows Mobile 6.5 and the HD7 is running Windows Phone 7, a completely new operating system from Microsoft. Physically though, these phones are nearly identical. And to put them in perspective, here is a first generation iPhone, and you can see that they're a little bit larger, but because they're quite slender still, they are quite pocketable. So size is not really too much of a problem. You'll notice though that the screen is much larger than that of the iPhone. One comment here is that the HD2 had an aluminum backing right here, which gave the phone a very high quality finish and feel to it. The HD7 does not have an aluminum backing, it's all plastic. Still feels almost as solid, but not quite. Some of the finishing details are more detailed than the HD2 though, so it's roughly par the course. So now that we've taken a look at the hardware itself, let's fire it up. Now before we do that, we need to open up the battery cover here, and there's a little slot up here. You can stick a fingernail on one side and pull on the other, pull around until the little cover pops off. And inside here, you notice there's a little pull handle around the battery. So we'll take off the plastic cover and stick in our battery, pop the cover back on, and fire it up. Now one thing I'll comment though is that the buttons on the phone, the power button on the top, the volume rocker, and the camera button are a little bit depressed inside of the body. So they're quite difficult to get at. I'm going to press the power button now, and here we are. Booting for the first time. Let's see. Got the T-Mobile Stick Together logo and Windows Phone 7. Still booting. Okay, welcome to the HTC HD7. And it gives you a choice of either emergency call or get started. So we'll get started. We have no SIM card in here at the moment. That's fine. Accept the terms of service. And let's see, we'll do the recommended route. Choose the time zone. Okay, well we are currently on the east coast of America, which is the other way. It's UTC minus 5. And okay, so let us do the configuration here, and then we'll get back to you shortly. The date picker here has a nice touch to it, something like the Apple iPhone date picker, but a slightly different appearance to it. And it's 2010. Okay, and the time now is 11:21 p.m. Okay, here we go. And here you can sign in with a Windows Live ID. So I'm going to do that. So when you do this without a SIM, of course, it won't be able to connect. So for now, we're going to skip this. And of course, there are some things you need the Live ID for, so we'll do that afterwards. For now, we are into Windows Phone 7. So as you can see here, the home screen has a series of what Microsoft calls live tiles. These are boxes that represent either programs or contacts, people, email accounts. They could pretty much be anything, and you can configure this as you'd like. This is how T-Mobile ships its stock. So T-Mobile includes the Netflix and Slacker apps, as well as something called Family Radio, which is a sort of chat room for all Windows Phone 7 devices running on your T-Mobile account, should you have more than one of those. The Xbox Live is, of course, to access games. Internet Explorer is the browser. T-Mobile TV is a rebranded version of a mobile TV service that you can subscribe to. And here's the HTC Hub. There's not all that much to see here. Some cool animations, and we're here. Now if you just go home, we're back to the home screen. The home screen is very responsive, and of course on the right here you get a list of all of the applications that are included. And so that's that part. Let's check out the camera application. We press the camera button for 4 seconds, turns into the camera app, and we will allow it. And here we get the camera application. One thing that you might be able to see on camera here is that it has a pinkish tone to the picture. This is an issue that the HD2 encountered, and now it seems that the HD7 has inherited as well. They seem to share, again, the same internals, so it makes some sense, but you would hope that HTC would have fixed it. In any case, here you can switch between still and video mode. You can zoom in with digital zoom and adjust some properties here. And of course we can just go back home from the start button. So if we turn off the phone from the top here and then turn it on again, you'll see a lock screen that has a number of text messages, the time and such written here, and you can just slide this up and we're back to the home screen here. If we touch the search key, that'll bring us to the Bing Maps application, or the Bing search application rather. And we're here. Go back, and we're back home. If we do back from here, we'll go to the last used application, which was the camera application. Check out TechAutos.com for more information about Windows Phone 7, the full operating system. For now, we'll say that the HD7 provides a very smooth, slick experience through the operating system, and we'll post our additional thoughts later on TechAutos.com. And feel free to write in with any questions or things you'd like us to explore on the phone. For now, that's it.